Saban. I am the President of Beauty and Wellbeing for Unilever North America and the CEO of SheaMoisture. And I am so thrilled to be here with the three incredible founders that you're going to see in this docuseries. So for those of you who may not be familiar with SheaMoisture and our mission and what we do, we really focus on supporting and accelerating and uplifting Black entrepreneurship, Black founders, because we believe that closing the racial wealth gap is critical to our community achieving equity in the pursuit of equality. And so what we've done with this docuseries in partnership with Roku, you can stream it on Roku, is really a behind-the-scenes look at what it really means to be a founder and the highs and the lows and things that maybe not everyone really understands or sees, but you'll also see the sacrifices that each of these founders and their families have made to pursue their dreams and really grow their businesses. So who you will see featured here are Latoya Stirrup. Latoya, raise your hand. Of Cosmology. You will see Dorian Morris of Undefined Beauty. And Mr. Neil Hudson of Scotch Boys. All right, so without further ado, let's play the sneak peek. So I'm going to first ask each of you to share with the audience if you can just speak about your business and what was your inspiration to create your business. And I'll start with you, Latoya.
Yeah. So hi everybody, I'm Latoya Stirrup, co-founder of Cosmology. Woo! And the inspiration behind starting the brand was really looking to change my wash day experience. I was tired of having lots of hair breakage, hair tools that would break on me, yes. As well as just a lot of the pain points. And at the time, a lot of the focus was on hair care products, but I felt that the tools was a missing link because you have to have the right products mixed with the right tools to have a really great wash day experience. So that's what we did. So we created Cosmology and launched the tools in 2019.
All right, and they're amazing. They've already gone from the shelves, so if you got one, you're very lucky. Neil, same question for you.
Hi, Neil Hudson. I'm a co-founder of Scotch Boys. Scotch Boys is a sauce and condiments brand where we're buying our ingredients from over 200 small farmers in Jamaica. And how we got started was my friends and I entered a barbecue competition just to see who could be the best cook. And we were cooking with Scotch bonnet peppers, so we named ourselves the Scotch Boys. We came first, and for months after, people kept on asking me, so Neil, where can I get your sauce? It's amazing. And we'd occasionally bottle it. And when my cheapest friend paid me for it, I said, we're on to something. We have to, I mean, he's so cheap. We have to, we're on to something. And I promised, my friend, I said, I think one day we can make this into $1 million brand. So that's how we got started.
All right, thank you, Neil. Dorian, same question.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dorian. I'm the founder of Undefined Beauty, which is focused on clean, conscious, inclusive plant magic. My whole mission is really to democratize beauty and undefine what the space looks like, because historically, if we're being honest, the industry, she looked skinny, blonde, affluent, white, and I believe we all deserve access to high-quality products that don't cost your firstborn child. So I created Undefined to really be different and bring something different to the table. So it's a clinical approach, meaning I take ancient plant wisdom and pair it with clinically proven actives, so you're not compromising on performance. Conscious capitalism is one of my core pillars, which means across my entire supply chain, I partner with female-founded, minority-owned, LGBTQ, and small businesses, because business empowers business. All of my products have diverse illustrations, like over there, because representation matters, and seeing is believing is becoming. And everything is infused with adaptogenic mushrooms, so it's really plant-powered and plant wisdom forward.
Thank you. So I'm going to stay with you, Dorian. You obviously know that starting a business and being an entrepreneur, each of you know this, is very nuanced. And if there's one piece of advice that you could give to an entrepreneur who may be here with us and overcoming hurdles, what would that be?
Yeah, well, first I want to say thank you for having us here.
Yeah, of course.
And the episode that you guys saw was episode 2. I cringe every time I watch it. Because I don't think it gives a good representation of who I am as a founder. Because yes, I am direct and whatnot, but I'm building very differently than most businesses out there, which means I have very limited time. So I'm typically very got to be very direct. So as a founder, I've been in this journey for 5 years. So I launched, in 2 weeks will be my 5-year anniversary, by myself. And I'm now in over 2,000 points of distribution across Target, Ulta, Whole Foods, CVS. And so I'm doing this myself. So it's a very different kind of equation.
Yeah.
But I think that if there's any founders that are thinking about, jumping into this journey, it's really about reframing how you think about failure. For me, over the past 5 years, if you were to go back, the brand looked very different. The packaging was different. The value proposition was different. The price point was different. And it's really, I think, the longevity and being able to be here on the stage right now is, having the courage to pivot when I see that maybe the landscape is shifting and really listening to my consumers. Because everything I do is very consumer focused and really listening to the community and then building based on those need states. And so I think that thinking about failure through the lens of it's really just giving you a learning is really important.
Okay. And what did I tell you about your representation in that episode? Do you remember?
That I have to own it?
No, but that it's a good example of showing a business leader being firm but fair. And I think that's a representation. I think as Black women, you and I talked about this, how we try to overcorrect for the stereotype of being an angry Black woman, and you were being a leader. So anyway, LaToya, next question is for you. So how do you feel Next Black Millionaires has changed, if at all, you and your business?
Yeah, no, this has been an amazing opportunity for a variety of reasons. One is, of course, being able to have conversations with you and Rich on a very regular basis, being able to tap into the resources at Unilever and SheaMoisture. And then two, having our story shared in this platform. You're getting able to see how myself and my sisters interact, how much our family legacy is a part of our reason why and why we're doing what we're doing. And then also my family. You don't get to see the boys as much, but you see pictures of them, and they're a really strong part of why I get up every day and why we keep going, because it can get hard. And so, I think just to talk about a little bit about some advice for entrepreneurs is you really have to have a strong why, because it gets hard. You're going to have to push yourself forward. There's no boss. You're the boss. There's nothing that's going to keep you going. It's you. So if you don't have a really good reason to do what you're doing, you'll go back and get a job.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So Neil, Target. Target is exciting. You're now in over 600 doors. How does that feel?
It's a unbelievable feeling. When we started the brand, we found that there were people who would always try to classify us as a Jamaican brand, but we've demonstrated that we have a great product that's doing extremely well. So since launching the end cap, the first week we had a 76% lift in sales. The week after that we had a 100% lift on top of that, and the third week after that, compounded on that, another 150%. So it's unbelievable, and I walk into the stores and I'm fixing it, sometimes the Target workers are like, excuse me, can I help you? And sometimes I say it to my brand and they're like, oh, I thought it was you. They're like, we saw it, we've been taking care of it, we love having you here. So I feel like at Target I have a secret army of this average Target worker, but also a secret army of Jamaicans who are working in Target, and they're like, we're so thrilled to see you here.
Yes.
But why I'm happy that Scotch Boy is successful more so is that Jamaicans have been leaving Jamaica to work overseas forever. Jamaicans went to help build the Panama Canal. My grandmother moved to Boston in the 60s, and my mother, of all her siblings, was the only one to move back to Jamaica. Yeah. And then I find myself having moved back to Jamaica and still having to come back to America. So why I'm thrilled about Scotch Boys' success is that, and why I want to pay a premium for the peppers, that instead of exporting Jamaicans, and I can export Scotch Boys and send that money back in a direct way to impact the farmers. Yes. So even the DJ is Jamaican,
Yeah.
So I love it. And how am I going to achieve that? Quite a few people have said, Neil, I've seen the brand in Target. And my second question to all of you is, did you buy it? So keep buying it. It's a great sauce from Jamaica, but as I said, it's not only for Jamaicans. It's for a wide cross-section of people who just love great flavor. So I said it in the documentary, I say it again. New voices, SheaMoisture, Cara, Simone, Liz, Greg, the entire team has really, truly, Chisholm for New Voices, has really accelerated our growth, and it shows what happens when an established company, Unilever, decides to invest in the community and give us a cross-merchandise platform. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm thrilled.
That's awesome. And if you are not following each of these founders and their businesses, please do. My greatest joy is seeing your trips to Target, and I absolutely love it. So we have a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap. So Dorian, the beauty space is super, super, super saturated. And you spoke a little bit about your positioning, but how do you see Undefined Beauty as being differentiated versus everything else that's in the market?
Yeah, I think my focus on purpose, I think, is really important. So I'm extremely intentional with everything I do, from the packaging to the ingredients. My manufacturers would probably say that I'm a little too focused on certain things. But for me, it's really about solving key pinch points. So really listening to my community and creating products that I know that can solve that purpose. They're affordable, and they're using plants to do that job. And so being very intentional, I think, is one of the key pillars that makes me different from the other brands that are on the market.
Thank you. Okay, so last question for all of you, for each of you, and you started this in terms of reaching back, and I spoke a little bit earlier about SheaMoisture's mission to support founders and in their pursuit of economic equity. And so for each of you, what does that look like for your businesses? What does that purpose, what is that greater good? You just spoke to this, Dorian, but Neil and LaToya, what does that look like for you and show up in your businesses? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so even with Scotch Boys, right, not only are we paying a premium for ingredients, because everything that goes into the bottle is sourced from Jamaica, the profits from the business are helping us support 2 schools. There's a small school near the factory where the main school building on the bathroom is like 300 feet away. So when it rains, the kids can't even use the bathroom. And since launching in Target, we've built a covered walkway for those students to access it. So, without generating that money, we're not able to fill the gap that unfortunately, the government isn't there. So business provides my ability to give back, but it also can create a viable livelihood for the hundreds of people that contribute to Scotch Boys. So, and again, it's just the sheer reach, in Jamaica, it's a small country, it's 3 million. America has a population of 330 million. It is, I'll tell you. So based on Jamaica's GDP versus America's GDP, if you had $1 million in Jamaica, the equivalent based on the size of the economy, you'd have 1.6 billion. Yeah. So that's why it's important to be here and be successful here, so I can contribute to the community that made me successful and has supported me.
Thank you, Neil. And LaToya.
So one of the things that we wanted to do from the beginning was to be sustainable. Even though we are a plastic tool, we basically are certified plastic neutral. So that means that we're able to remove an equal amount of plastic from the environment that we use in production. So we've already removed tons of plastic waste from the environment through a program called Repurpose Global. And then we also have programs where we work with stylists to really educate consumers on how to do their hair. Because so many of us may be overtype on our hair type, claiming that we're 4C when we may not be 4C. So there's a lot that needs to happen in the space to make sure that we can care for our curls and know how to do it with right tools, right products, and the right techniques. And then another thing is that we're going to be partnering with a fantastic organization in Atlanta to give personal care products to elementary students who do not have access to it. So that's combs, that's products, just really helping them to groom themselves and care for themselves in amazing ways. So there's a lot of different things that we're doing from a social impact standpoint.
That is so wonderful. So just a round of applause for each of you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone here. It's a 6-part docuseries on Roku. You can scan the QR code on that billboard thing out there, and I hope you'll watch and support our founders. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.